Good evening everybody and welcome to the very first round of the Sim Experience South Africa Formula 4 British Championship 2022. Bit of a mouthful which I've kind of got wrong already. Alright, so here we are, our first round, which is at Donington Park in Leicestershire in the UK. Let's have a look at our current event. I am your commentator Dennis Mitchell. The broadcast director or media producer is SKNY Media. I'll have a look at our schedule for the upcoming season as well, which will be 8 rounds, starting like I said here at Donington Park, then heading off to Brands Hatch, then off to Thruxton, then off to Oulton Park, then off to Croft, then off to Knockhill, then off to Snetterton, and then off to Silverstone. Interesting fact is only one of those tracks is actually not in the heart of England, and that would be Knockhill, which is situated in Scotland. Alright, so let's head back over to the timings. Everyone is now in qualifying, so they have 15 minutes qualifying to set their fastest time before a 30-minute race. There's no reverse grid, it's just one race. There will be a formation lap, and after that they get to pit as many times as they like or see fit. A 20-minute race would have not needed a pit stop, a 40-minute would definitely have, so a 30-minute race is going to require a little bit of maintaining the tyres. So we'll see how the race progresses. Lap times over the board through practice has been fairly close. We've had some surprise drivers heading near the front. So for example, at the moment we have Mikko, who's one of our fastest drivers. He's a young Red Bull junior, very quick driver. He's only 13 years of age. That's Mikko, and then of course Stephen Castellan's up there as well. He's been very quick. But a surprise driver is Donnie Stander, who's absolutely gelling with these cars at the moment. So what a pleasure to see Donnie finally getting to grips and being able to show what he's capable of. Unfortunately, some cars just don't suit all drivers in sims. Every sim is unique with the physics and your particular hardware that you use. So finally Donnie's actually got a car where his times have been very impressive. Yesterday in practice, when I was watching the times, he was actually the fastest driver for a long time until eventually he was only just beaten by Monet Deploy. So let's see how the times progress. Unfortunately, a lot of our drivers won't be making the first round due to other commitments. So from round 2 on we should see an increase in numbers, so that will be quite good, but unfortunately for those drivers it's going to be very hard to catch up. So at the moment, no real times on the board yet, so the sector times are coming in at the moment. Mikko's got the fastest first and fastest second sector. The fastest first sector of a 25.4, fastest second sector on a 25.3, and he's in the final sector. He's not in the final sector. On my timing it's showing that he's in the final sector. Sorry, I'm getting my track layout mixed. So here he comes across the line now. Let's see what the first time on the board is. A 131.5. Sorry, a 130.1. The very first was straight away beaten, which was Ross, beaten by Mikko. Right, as the times will start tumbling, let's see how close everyone can get. Here we have Harvey Koos, multiple South African Formula V champion. In fact, I believe he is the most successful Formula V champion, and I believe he's the father-in-law of Donnie Stander, so they are family. Good to have racing family together. And then we have Mikko really carrying a lot of corner speed there. Unfortunately nowhere to go. Stephen on the apex in front of him. But it looked like Mikko was definitely carrying a bit more apex speed there. We have Marius and Vakert now also joined, thankfully, so welcome Marius, glad you could make it. One of the issues with rFactor, when we set up the server we have to set it up very different to other sims, so when we add skins, if someone else joins and we have to add a new skin, we have to create everything from fresh, and unfortunately that means that every single driver has to then go and remove what they had and then join the server, and the server will then update them. So that's created a bit of a headache for some drivers, but thankfully everyone's getting around it, so good to have everyone sorted. Just also doing a quick YouTube check. If everyone could just let me know if the audio is alright, any audio level issues, then just just give me a shout. At the moment, no comments in the audio in the YouTube, so hopefully everything's alright sound-wise. Just to keep you guys up to speed on what has all been happening, we've also got the TCR Championship running concurrently on a Wednesday nights. So it started the previous Wednesday. It'll be round 2 the coming Wednesday. So if anyone's keen on that, we are currently full at the moment, but we do have a reserve list, which I think there are about 6 drivers. So if drivers fall out of the main race, then the reserve drivers will stand in. And if a driver who's in the race misses the race and fails to notify us, then they forfeit their position, and one of the other drivers will then stand in for them, and the guy that gets kicked out of the race that forfeits his position will then fall to the back of the reserve list. So that way you can at least rotate the drivers if guys choose not to take part. So that should be full every single race. At the moment with rFactor 2 we don't have that issue because the TCR is running in a set of courses, so we have a limited grid number, which for there we have 23 grid slots. At the moment here we have it set to 24, but we can open it up to as many as we like. Pretty much we can go up to, on most tracks, 45, some tracks actually capable of running over 100, although that can, I'm sure, cause issues for hardware. You need a very powerful server, but for the most part it is possible, but we don't have those numbers for rFactor yet, so still growing. There's still some guys starting to enjoy rFactor more and more. This championship, by the way, is all free content. All the tracks we are using for this championship are free tracks that you can download. They're all mods. The car itself is a car created by Studio 397, the creators of, well, the owners of rFactor. They're not actually the ones who created it. That was Image Space Incorporated, but it got sold and it became, oh, there goes Ross spinning it nicely there, and it became Studio 397 in Willem. Oh, that was close. It looks like Ross has got stuck. So at the moment this car it's not base content, but it is a free car that is available. Well, I guess technically then it is base content. So it is available for free on the Steam Workshop as part of the Studio 397 group of content available. There's also some content available still from Image Space Incorporated, the older stuff, which is, some of it has been maintained by Studio 397 and upgraded. Some of it hasn't. This is one of their newer cars, so this wasn't an Image Space Incorporated. This is a pure Studio 397 car. It's a very popular car. And when it comes to Formula cars, there are various Formula cars available in rFactor, lots of Formula 3 cars. I think there's only one Formula 4 car, which is this, which is a international spec Formula 4, based I think on the 2018 regulations. So there are no driver aids, there's no ABS, there's no traction control, there's I think blip is allowed on the throttle, sorry, on downshifts, and that's about it really. And I think we have auto clutch enabled because not everyone has a clutch. Certain sim hardware only comes with 2 pedals, so we have auto clutch enabled, and that's about it. So really a driver's car this, lots of input required. Then getting to our track, we have 5 minutes of qualifying left. At the moment we have Mornay Deploy sitting on pole with a 129.823, only 0.099 ahead of Mika at the moment. Now Mika Abrams has been pretty fast in practice as well, so Mornay and Mika really up there, and Stephen is now stuck it in third, 0.445 off the lead. Donnie Stander in fourth now. I wonder when Donnie's going to drop in a fast lap. He's also capable of going much faster, so I'm sure his times will improve. Although it looks like at the moment Donnie is still in the pits. So Ross Human is then in 5th, we have Willem Steyn in 6th, Sean Johnson in 7th, Marius van Wyk has now jumped up to 8th, Mario Claessen's in 9th, and Javi Goos in 10th. I'm sure as this track rubbers in, the times will get faster and faster. The track progression is set to 5 times because we have lower numbers. I thought I'd grip it up to make it more realistic. So the track will grip up pretty fast. So as the race progresses, their tyres will wear down, but the track grip will increase. So that will be interesting to see how that affects tyre wear. It might help the longevity of the tyres. So for the driver's sakes, I Hope it does for our sakes. I hope it still gives enough tyre wear that it's entertaining for us to see them, as we see Mika there locking up. Final turn is actually a very difficult turn. It's quite a blind entry into it and a slight off camber as well. So double apex, slightly blind and off camber. Very, very challenging track this. Of course, very well known for Sector 1. As we see Stephen Castler now. So one of the most famous tracks in the UK. Very popular for track days as well over in the UK. So with only just under 4 minutes to go, Mika has taken pole by 0.021 from Stephen Castellan, who has now gone ahead of Monet Deploy. So it's all changing very fast at the front. And Donnie is still sitting in the pits. So I'm not sure if Donnie's waiting just to do a final lap gasp or what's going to happen, but we'll just have to wait and see. Or perhaps he's content with fourth. I don't think so. The pace he's been showing, I'm sure he's not happy with fourth place. So at the moment Mika is obviously on a flyer. Let's see, is he going to improve? Let's have a look at his sector time. So at the moment he's actually not, so I'm not sure why the camera has chosen to stick with him. He might be the fastest on track at the moment, but it looks like Stephen Castellan might be on for a good lap. According to the timing screen, he's got a personal best in the middle sector. Now Mika's got two average first and second sector times. Donnie Stunder has now got according to this, he is on track. No, he is on the pit, sorry. The timing screen just hadn't updated. Ross just getting it all wrong there. Ooh, rough ride there. So, just over 2 minutes to go. There's enough time for them to pit and have one more go at it. With a lap of just under a minute and a half, they're probably on an out lap will need about 135 to 140 depending on the pace that they take their out lap as or at. So there's still enough time left, and only 3 guys on track at the moment, which is Mika Abrams, Monet Deploy and Mario Claessens. So let's see, are we going to have a flurry of cars jumping on track now? Time is running out. Right, it looks like no one else will be coming out. That's a surprise. So there's no longer enough time. So we have 3 drivers on track. So who's going to take pole? Looks like Sean Johnson has joined the track, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to get a lap in, so maybe that's just a feeler to try some race fuel, which would be quite a wise move. Just get out there, put some race fuel in. If you've been doing qualifying with low fuel, you definitely need to feel what the car is going to be like. That gives me a chance just to briefly talk about car setup as well. With this championship, they don't have the ability to change everything in the car setup. So pretty much all setup is locked apart from fuel and steering. So you can change your steering lock and you can change the amount of fuel that you put in, and that is it. So everyone drives the same car effectively. Drivers are allowed to have their own teams and skins and liveries, things loaded, as we can see with Mickey with his fantastic Red Bull Junior livery. And some of the other skins look really amazing. Stephen Castellan in that retro Rothmans, sort of Williams Rothmans colours, that looks fantastic. And I believe Mario Claessens is running an old classic Marlboro McLaren colour scheme, which also looks fantastic. Right, so I believe that's the end of qualifying, and Mika has taken the flag and he is currently provisional pole. Can Monet challenge? He can, he just pips it by 0.025. What a fantastic lap on Monet. Brilliant stuff. 29,695. Wow. So the top 3 covered by 0.046. That's fantastic. And of course, the only other driver that can now challenge is Mario, who has pitted. So that will be our final standings. We'll have Morne Deploy in pole position, Micah Abrams in second, Stephen Caslin in third, Donnie Stander fourth, Ross Human fifth, Willem Steyn in sixth, Sean Johnson in seventh, Mario van Wyk in eighth, Marius van Wyk in eighth, Mario Claessens in ninth, and Javi Gous in 10th. So let's jump to an ad break, and then we'll be back for the start of our opening round of the Sim Experience SA 2022 British Formula 4 Championship. Welcome back, everybody. Let's just, before we get going, I've got everything running incorrectly. Right, let's sort this out. Let's have a look at what we have here. So, this is round 1 of the Sim Experience SA British Formula 4 Championship of 2022. Coming to you from Donington Park in Leicestershire in England. Track is a 4.02 kilometer. So not the longest of tracks, but what a fantastic track. Race will be 30 minutes long. There's no forced pit stops. It's totally up to the drivers what they want to do. So let's see what happens with their selection. So let's have a look at our starting order once again. So in pole position we have Morne Deploy for Fulcrum Racing, Micah Abrams in second for Red Bull Junior, Stephen Caslin, I'm not sure how to pronounce his team, and Donnie Stander for GDR Racing, Ross Human for the other team, Willem Steyn for Fulcrum Racing, Sean Johnson for Dragon Racing, Marius van Wyk for Daltec Esports. In 9th place we have Mario Claessens for Dragon Racing and Javi Gous for GDR Racing. Right, so perhaps we don't need the driver box just yet, so let's keep that out the way so we can see everything on screen. Right, drivers will be now lining up in a moment. I need to take their grid slots. I'm sure their hearts will be in their throats at this point. Hoping for a good start, hoping to not go off. rFactor can be brutal when it comes to penalties. So here we go. 5 seconds to go. And we're off. Beautiful start from Monet. Terrible start for Mika, and Stephen's already got past Donnie, challenging on the outside there. Even Ross coming up on the inside there. But a nice clean start from Monet, nice and easy actually. And Stephen getting a bit wide there. Mika going to get up the inside. Yes, he does. And Donnie's run wide there, dropping down by about 4 places. That was a terrible start for Donnie as well. Then looked like he just made up a place, and then maybe in the excitement just pushed a bit too hard. Right, let's get all our information back on the screen. So we have Mika currently in second. He's going to, I'm sure, pressure Monet all the way to the end, and Stephen, as always, right there as well. Marius van Wyk doing really good. Oh, Mario Claessen's running really wide in the background there, managing to, well, that was a great return to the track, keeping the car from going off and taking anyone else off. Well held there. If anyone in the YouTube channel would, if someone could just let me know if my mic is alright. I have extreme hot temperatures here at the moment, so I have a fan blowing directly on me trying to keep me cool. Hopefully the microphone's not picking it up, but if it is, if there's anyone that could just let me know. Alright, so what a great onboard here from Mika. Looking at the tail end of Monet deploy. Stephen Kastler now starting to fall back slightly. So the lap times, first lap time was a 1:35.1 for Monet, a 1:35.5 for Mika, a 1:36.7 for Stephen, a 1:39.4 for Sean Johnson, Willem Steyn a 1:40.1, Donnie Stunder 1:41.5, and so on. And the lap times get slower and slower. So let's see the second lap, and Mika challenging around the outside, now up the inside. Whoa, no, it's still around the outside, now it'll be up the inside. What a fantastic move. Wow, he carried a lot of corner speed there. I'm sure it must have caught Monet by surprise there. Right, let's see what Monet's got in his pocket now. Two of them seem to be exchanging fastest times, so this is going to be a great battle to end. Sitting nicely in Mika's slipstream there. I'm not too sure how the slipstream is going to affect the tyre wear or even the temperatures of these cars. Some cars are definitely more affected by a slipstream, the lack of airflow when you're in the slipstream, and more so formula-based cars. Looks like Mika might actually have pulled a slight gap, but Monet's got a nice tight line and a slight slide on the exit though. And we come up to a fastest lap for Mika, 1:29.7. We're going to be coming up to the most famous part, famous corner of Donington, the Craner Curbs. These sweeps over here, dropping down a few stories, or a story or two maybe, very fast. Many accidents there in real world. Now we're having a look at Harvey Goos, who's currently running in 9th place. Ross Human's also slowly making his way up. He had gone off and he was running in 10th place. He's now up to 8th, and we have Donnie Stunder. He's gone off. Hopefully his car is not damaged, and hopefully he can regain himself some composure and get going. So he's now down to 9th. That's a shame. He's been really running good this whole series of practice. He's been up there with the times. It just shows, you know, anything can happen, just one small mistake. But that same mistake could happen to the others, so anything can happen. But what a shame. Now he sits 23 seconds off the lead with only 25 minutes left to go. Team GDR changing places there. I'm not sure if Harvey moved over for Darnie, but Darnie looked like he had a lot of speed going around the outside there. Nice line. Monet looked like he was challenging mid-lap there. I don't know if maybe Monet is quicker in the first sector relative to Mika. On the last lap he was about half a second faster than Mika, but Mika was about a tenth faster in the second sector, just at the fastest second sector of all. Nice and close between the two of them. Only 0.5 of a second covering them, and Stephen Castellan falling back slightly. Sean Johnson doing a solid 4th place. Sean is always good. One thing with Sean is he's very consistent, so championship wise will be good. Here comes Monet up the inside. Is he going to be able to brake late enough, keep the car tight enough? No. Mika taking a nice wide sweeping line, carrying more speed, yet somehow Monet is actually on the apex, has more speed. Usually the wider line is faster because it's a straighter line. Obviously the straighter you go, the less resistance there is, and that's why it's faster. But somehow Monet was taking the tighter line and actually carried more speed at the apex. Oh, Monet is really glued to the back end of Mika. Putting Mika under some serious pressure at the moment. He's also got a fantastic skin. He created it himself. It looks really, really good. Monet squaring off the corner. Mika getting a little bit squirty. Can Monet get a bit of drive here? Unfortunately, he's going to be on the outside if he tries it there, unless he changes to the inside. Looks like he's trying to take a slightly wider line in to get more drive out of the corner. This is turn 1 is one of the places that you could make a pass. It's not easy, but you could do it there. Yeah, in these cars it's pretty much only 1 or 2 places where you can really go for an overtake. Because the braking zones are so small in these cars, you sort of brake and go. There's only 1 or 2 that are longer braking zones that give you the opportunity. And the rest of them, it's you're braking while turning, and there's not much room to take a different line. Especially when your lap times to the guy in front of you is, less than a tenth. And on the previous lap, the fastest lap time was a last lap was a 31.5 for Mika and a 31.8 for Monet. Monet seems to be sticking with Mika, so I'm not sure what the lap times are like now, but the lap times aren't that fast at the moment, so maybe they're just controlling their tyres, or it's the dice that's slowing them down a bit. Stephen Castellan's actually catching them. He was at one stage 4 seconds behind. He's now at 2.2. So they're going to have to start looking in their mirrors soon. And Donnie Stunder's also made his way up to 7th place at the moment. And surprisingly, his gap to the lead has pretty much stayed the same. He's now 25 seconds off the lead, although he only has 20 minutes left now. So if they battle too much and slow each other down, it could bring others into play. Firstly being Stephen, who's now under 2 seconds, and then being Sean Johnson, who is always strong come race day. Monet getting a bit of a drift there. Oh, Monet's gone off. That's 2nd place now to Stephen. That will release Mika now. So now that the pressure's off Mika, all his lap times drop, will he then pull the pin? Monet has now thrown it thrown it away. He was looking solids on there for challenging for the win at some point. Oh, Harvey's also dropped it. So, can Monet salvage a second place? I'm sure he's got the pace. Question is, what's Mika going to do now? Will Mika now drop his lap times? His last lap was a 30.0. I think that answers the question. So Mika has now pulled the pin. I think with Monet on his tail, sorry. He was perhaps driving a bit too defensively, losing a bit of momentum. Stephen Castellan, though, has the fastest lap of the race so far, 29.6. That wasn't the last lap, though, so that was one of the previous laps, which I hadn't yet seen. So our top three's best lap times, we have Mika on a 29.739, we have Stephen on a 29.60, we have Monet on a 29.9. Extremely close lap times. I'm just really upset that Donnie isn't doing better. I was really looking forward to seeing and even commenting on him having a good race. It looked like everything was aligning for him, and unfortunately it just hasn't worked out. So Ross. How's Ross's race going and Marius's race? Ross is up to 6th, Marius is 9th. Marius right on the back end of Mario now, so at least these guys are having a nice... Oh, there goes Mario. Nice pirouettes. Managing to keep the car facing forward. Double pirouette in style there, that was very well done. And that's unfortunately because these cars don't have traction control. When you get on the curbs, you really need to use your feet and your hands to control the car from spinning like that. So Ross is now catching up to Willem Steyn. Lap time wise, Ross has done a 30.6, so that's a lot faster than he's been in practice. So Ross has actually got good pace at the moment. In fact, he's got pace to get up to 4th place. So Ross is about 3.5 seconds behind Sean Johnson, and he's lapping at about just under, probably about 1.8 seconds faster than Sean a lap at the moment. So if he gets past Willem, he can definitely pose a threat to Sean Johnson. And then of course if anything happens in the top 3, that would be a battle for the podium. So at the moment it looks like Mick is going to be our victor, although Monet Deploy is just stuck in at 29.4. And Mika's last lap was a 1 minute 30.5 according to the timings. So we'll see. I don't think Monet has enough time to catch. He could possibly catch Steven, although Steven's not exactly slow at the moment, but there's a couple of tenths between them at the moment in Monet's favour. Ross going around the outside of Willem. Wow, can he do it? Can he do it? He's now up the inside. Yes. Wow, can he hold it? Wow, that was well held. I think Willem got the shock of his life there. That was fantastic the way he drifted. Didn't make a pass to drift like that in a Formula car is extremely difficult. That was fantastic. 10 out of 10 there for Ross. I think that's definitely the pass of the day. Broad sliding away past the driver, scaring him off the road. That last lap, Monet only did a 29.9, but he did set the fastest middle sector. So Monet now 4.4 off the lead. Well, judging by the times, you know, it is possible for him to catch. And Stephen going off. So second place, having spun. He's now down to third. What a shock result that is. Stephen having dropped it there. Okay, so Monet has now been released. So Monet now, he backed off there slightly. So the gap's now 4.8, but he seems to have the pace on Mika at the moment. But Mika's got nearly 5 seconds in hand now. Oh, it's actually now gone up to 6, so he obviously backed off quite a lot there to avoid driving into Stephen. But he is up into second, so he's got the position. But he lost a lot of time. Can he gain that amount of time in just over 13 minutes, 13 and a half minutes? So the battle for fourth is also getting closer and closer. Between fourth, fifth and sixth we have 3.5 seconds. Ross is up to fifth. He's on the move at the moment, and I believe he's going to catch and pass Sean at the rate he's going now. So Ross is really having a great comeback. From going off in the first lap, he's working his way up really, really well now. So this is fantastic. Also with a fantastic livery, that old retro Rothmans Williams, or Williams Rothmans, however you want to call it. Looks absolutely fantastic. So Mika's gap is coming down. It's now down to 6, so Monet has taken half a second off. That's not enough. I think he's going to run out of time. Well, it's going to be close. If it stays half a second per lap. Well, yeah, it wasn't exactly a lap, hey? So let's see how the lap times compare. Mika has just done a 29.3. So Mika is not giving up. And the gap is now extended to 6.2. So is that because the track is gripping up? It might be, because Monet is now down to 29.2. So exchanging blows here. A 29.2. Fantastic lap that. So as the track is gripping up, the tyres are wearing, but the grip is I think increasing quicker than what the tyres are wearing. And obviously the fuel's going down. I think they're going to get quicker and quicker. At what point will the tyres hit the cliff though? And will anyone need to do any kind of pit stop for tyres or fuel? That's another thing. So Ross is right on the tail now of Sean Johnson. This is for 4th place. And they've got Harvey Goos in front of them. Harvey's currently in 10th place. Is he going to play any part in this? I really love Rothman's livery. Ross at least backing out of it, playing safe. Yeah, Harvey's not moving out of their way easily. Ross going to get it up the inside here. Sean, I think, was being a bit cautious with Harvey. Harvey was being quite defensive. Sean, whoa, keeping it. Is he going to... I can't finish my sentence because I'm just not sure. Sean managing to hang on to it. Wow, that was fantastic. Taking the wider line. Slower on the apex, but got better drive out of the corner. Oh, I got a bit sideways there. I think Rossi's going to maybe get him here. Unless Sean can carry a bit more momentum on the outside, but I think Ross has got the line here. although it is much tighter. I think it's better being on the inside here. And who's that in front of them that's gone off? That's Mario. Okay, is Mario going to stick to the inside? Yes, he is. So we had a change there. That was a change for 4th place. With Mario and Harvey now having a battle there for 9th and 10th. Will Harvey be able to actually pinch 9th from Mario? Oh, Sean running slightly wide. Okay, Sean has at least now got someone who's in his sights, so he can... Oh, Ross getting it sideways. Sean's at least got someone to target fixate on, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. Sometimes it can drag you along, and sometimes you go off when they go off. Perhaps now is also a good time to thank our sponsors, Alwin Automotive Glass. So if you have any automotive glass requirements, whether it's for a canopy or a bakkie or a car or a van, anything automotive related, you can go to www.alwin.co.za. They are the largest supplier of automotive glass in the country. So you can't go wrong with them, and they are our supplier, our sponsor. Suppliers with the needs, I guess. So give them a shout. Tell them you heard about them on Some Experience SA. And then of course SKNY Media, if you have any media needs. SKNY Media are fantastic. They do all our video and all presentation and things like that. So they are fantastic, great quality. Thanks to them. Donnie losing it again. This round has just not gone Donnie's way. Well, it's an 8-round championship, so he can at least still get some points from this. Regroup, and I'm sure he'll be strong at the next one. I'm just very surprised that he's struggling so much. He's been really on form. So Sean Johnson now sitting in 5th place, with Willem Steyn only 2 seconds behind. With Mario Claessen's stuck between them, but Mario is of course a 9th place driver. So at the moment Mika is slowly extending his lead, so I don't think, barring any incident, that he will be challenged for the lead. So it looks like Mika's going to open the season with a win. Monet possibly with a 2nd, and Steven possibly with a 3rd. So Ross would then be 4th, Sean in 5th, Willem Steyn in 6th. Anything can happen there. Those are the 5th, 6th and 7th are really close. And of course Mario and Harvey Ghost as well having a battle for 10th place. Or for 9th place actually. Which is nice to see that they're also slowly starting to improve. Their lap times are coming down a bit as well. I see Mario's lap time was a 32.0 on the last lap, which is a very respectable time, so at least he's starting to get to grips with it as well, even if he starts to only get to grips with it halfway through the race. And Mika's just done the fastest time of a 1:29.0. He's definitely not just cruising home for a win. He's taking it in style. Fastest lap and victory. So as I was saying, yeah, nice to see that the other guys are starting to get their pace up, so as the season progresses they'll get more familiar with the car. They should get more competitive. So for example, Harvey's 3 seconds off the pace. He was way slower than that at the beginning of practice, so he's slowly been getting better, and at least now that he's got Mario's in his sights as well, he's fairly close on pace. They can push each other along. So yeah, great to see the guys improving. And of course at the next round we'll have bigger numbers, so should also be a lot more exciting. So these guys have got a bit of jump in the championship points wise, but Ah, fantastic so far. Monet's pace is also pretty good. The last lap was a 29.275, which was his personal best. And Mick is now just done at 29.5. It's across the line again. And Monet is now done at 29.8. So Mika is slowly still extending a couple of tenths every lap. It seems like Mika's possibly taking it a bit easier on sector 1 maybe. Because it seems like the gap is fluctuating quite a lot as they go through the lap. Now the sector times, I'm trying to monitor the sector times here, but they, on the board, they keep changing. As soon as they go into the next lap, it sort of wipes out the previous first and second sector, but shows the last one, and then as they go to the, so basically it's like slightly behind. So like now I can see sector 1 and sector 2 of Mika, but I can't see a sector 3 time, and when he crosses the line, then it kind of leaves some of the sectors behind, some of them not. Monet has just set the fastest middle sector of at 24.8. So let's see how our lap time is going to be at the end of this one for Monet deploy. Not sure if he's just trying to get fastest lap perhaps. Yes, fastest lap, only just 29.082, and the fastest lap by Mika is at 29.084. You don't get much closer than that, 0.02 of a second difference. That's pretty impressive. See, Javi's managed to get past Mario. Mario's having a look there at Javi. So the two of them having a really nice battle at the moment. Mario taking it a bit too tight, getting a bit on the grass, losing momentum. Looks like Javi's got the edge of Mario at the moment. I think Mario's got a little bit more pace, but Javi seems to be more consistent. Consistently slightly slower, but he's consistent in his pace. Whereas Mario seems to be faster, but is making a lot more mistakes, and it's costing him dearly. And Mario's pace is not bad. Mario could have been challenging with the likes of Maurice van Wyk further up, judging by his pace. And Donnie as well. Donnie also had good pace. He could have also been challenging up there for 4th place, but unfortunately having run off, that really cost him dearly. Mario going for it, is he? Oh, I think he tried. Here he goes, going for the lunge. Nicely done. I think Harvey saw him coming and just kept wide there. Live for another day. Here comes Mika. Is he going to get to the line before the time's up? Or will this be the last lap? I think this is the last lap. So, as we go on board for the last lap as he crosses the line. Alright. Did he finish? I'm not sure if he finished. I believe it's finished. So I believe that we are actually still racing, because it's showing that Mika is our leader, not our winner. So I believe the checkered flag is out, but he obviously crossed the line just before the flag came out. That was pretty close though. I'm sure if he just rolled off a fraction, he would have had the win, not had to do another lap. Some drivers do that just because it's much safer. Well, it's saying that Mornay is in the pit, so I'm going to presume that it is finished. I just don't know why it's telling me then that Mika is the leader, not the winner. Okay, so that is our final order. So, race winner, Mika Abrams. Second place, Mornay Duploy. Third place, Stephen Castellan. Fourth place, Ross Human. Fifth place, Sean Johnson. Sixth place, Willem Steen. Seventh place, Dani Stander. Eighth place, Marius van Wyk. Ninth, Mario Claessens. And 10th place, Harvey Goos. Alright, let's jump to an ad break, and then we'll see if we can get the guys to join us for a little bit of a chat. Alright, and welcome back everybody to the interviews. We have the top three in the booth with us. So we have Mika Abrams, we have Mornay Duploy, and we have Stephen Castellan. So what a fantastic race from you guys. I mean, the pace was amazing. Through practice, you guys have been extremely close, the three of you actually. And Stephen, you've been getting faster and faster. At first, you seemed like you were about a second off the pace in practice, but you've like really got up there in your pace now. So I'm going to start with you. How did the race go for you?
Started off alright. I just hung back. I was just trying to get just watch the two of them in front, maybe make an error, something like that. Then I was like, no, let me haul ass. It's not that long a race, and lap times came up. I posted, I think, a best lap on like 3 or 4, and then all of a sudden it went pear-shaped. Mornay just went off. I passed him, and then I cocked it up on turn 4. The downhill fast section.
Yes, after corner curves, yes.
just left rear, just touched the grass, and that was it.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were quite a few guys making mistakes. It looked like the curbs were quite treacherous as well. I think I saw 4 incidents where guys spun on the curbs.
Sure.
So yeah,
Um,
it seemed like it wasn't the easiest. The grip was set to grip up 5 times, so I was kind of thinking the grip would be better, but it looked like it was actually still quite slippery.
I thought it was quite better, yeah.
It was pretty good. Grip all over was pretty good, yeah. But after the spin, the vibrations and everything, and I was so far behind, I'm like, I'm not gonna push it and make another mistake. I'm rather just gonna play it safe.
All right, then Mornay, great second place. Pity about you not being able to challenge for the win. Fantastic pace, like I said, fastest lap of the race and only 0.02 of a second faster than Mika. But unfortunately, just not enough because of that spin or running wide.
Yeah, well, at first, I ran wide. I think it was on lap 2, after just before the Craner curves or just after. And I lost a bit of time, but not too much. And then I obviously caught back up to Mika. And then I just before the back straight, I just turned in a little bit late and then went onto the grass there. And that's where Stephen passed me. And then caught back up to him. And then he had that spin. And I thought I was going to go straight T-bone into him. And I just kind of, try to just slam on brakes as hard as I could without locking up. But then obviously trying to do that instantly, I locked up. And my tires didn't feel great after that. I think my front left was feeling the pain the whole way through after that. But that was great in the beginning. Before that as well, racing, side by side with Mika, it was super close. So after that, we were just exchanging fastest laps and then to the end, and then that was great fun, and definitely looking forward to the next one. And then congratulations to Mika, and then also to Stephen for third.
All right, and then Mika, fantastic way to open the championship. First of all, great win, great pace, great race. Just the way you got the win as well. So, any thoughts from your side?
It was a very close race between everyone. I was kind of expecting us to be all bunched up together and have a intense fight, but that didn't happen. But the big fight was trading fastest laps, and I'm so happy I got it on the last lap. But it was a pretty easy race, just controlling it from the front. But other than that, it was a fun race.
Yeah, I must say, you certainly had the pace and you seemed very consistent and you seemed to make the least amount of mistakes as well. A lot of the guys are making the odd little mistakes. All the guys actually, just a little mistake here and there. Your lines are pretty consistent as well, especially in the final sector as well. You seem to be pretty consistent in your lines there. I think maybe twice you ran wide in the final turn, but pretty consistent.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright everyone, so is everyone ready then for the next round? We should also have a few more drivers joining us for the guys that couldn't make us this round, so there should be some more competition.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think next round is what, Brands Hatch, yeah.
Yes.
I think just the practice in the car is going to get things, everyone closer together, more consistency.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was saying that during the stream as well, like looking at the fastest guy to the slowest guy, the gap is closed. So Harvey's times have come up a lot, and then the guys that are slightly ahead of him have also come up a lot. So the lap time difference between you guys is actually extremely close. It's the consistency that's, I think, catching the guys out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And if you look at Ross, Ross went off in the first lap and he worked his way up to fourth. His lap times were good. His best time was a 1 minute 30 dead, I think. So he was doing good times. He just unfortunately made a mistake, and he was probably nursing some flat spots or something as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully the next round you guys know the cars better and it's even closer, and of course Brands Hatch is always an entertaining track.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The corner one.
Yeah.
And then there's my favourite Dingle Dell, and that's always been challenging, although nowadays it's a sort of normal curve rather than a chicane. If you go wide there, then that's it, you're over. Right, thanks guys, thanks very much. That was
Thanks so much.
an amazing race.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks for hosting, Dennis. Thank you.
And then I'll catch you guys all at the next one.
Shot.
Cool.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Good night.
Bye.
Alright, and that's it. I will catch you, the rest of you guys, at the next round next week, which will be in Brands Hatch, and we'll see you all then. Thanks again to everyone who watched and everyone who supports us, and thank you to Alwin for everything they do for us. Alwin Glass, www.alwin.co.za, and Skinny Media for everything they do media-wise for us, giving us these fantastic clips that we see all the time, that you're seeing right now. And we'll see everyone in a week's time. Catch you then. Cheers.